Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet. We're going to go on a woods walk, gun talk number 8. It's going to be a little different today. I'm going to a place I haven't been to yet. It's a nature trail. It's got about 1.7 miles of walkable distance. So I'm obviously going to be doing more walking than that today, but I don't even know if this is woods, if it's just a trail. I looked at Google Maps and it says that according to the geographical satellite imagery, looks like there's trees on it. So we should see some trees. I live not far from here, and I have never walked here, so we have to take care of that. It's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit, not the warmest day. It's not brutally cold either. It's about the same temperature it was when we went shooting this past weekend. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about with Gun Talk today. And I don't even know how to get this trail. I don't even know what to look for. I just know it's down this way. So hopefully I don't walk right by it. I would imagine they'd have a sign. So anyway, looks like they're working on something here. I usually don't come down this way in my daily travels. But anyway, I'll wait until we get on the trail before we have some discussions about firearms. But I wanted to take a moment to thank everybody for subscribing and watching the channel and the different styles of videos. It's mostly gun videos, but I got a couple of other things mixed in once in a while of things I am interested in. So, you know how that goes. If you don't want to watch those, that's fine. If you don't care about vinyl records, or if you don't care about guitars or whatever else. I know people mainly subscribed for the gun channel, which is fine. That's the new firehouse they built for the firemen and women. Or are we supposed to call them fire people now? I don't know. I'll just say firemen and women. If they don't like it, too bad. So, we are going to be passing by a school. I'll discuss that in a moment. Hi, good afternoon. That's one thing about Maine, most people are friendly. It hasn't been as contaminated yet as other parts of the world with riffraff, but they're working on it. That's what Democrats do. They turn everything to riffraff. And as you can see, a lot of Maine is very rural. I mean, even in this city, this is a city that's the second largest city in the state. And you have trees, and it's only 1.4 million people in Maine. About 38 to 40,000 of them live here in this city, and it's the second largest city. And the largest city is about 76,000, 80,000, which isn't much. That can actually be a small suburb outside Los Angeles, you know. So anyway, if you're watching, we're in Hickville, but it's not too bad. Plus we have the internet. A lot of local mom and pop shops that you don't get in other places. Some of you guys are absolutely brutalized by the mom and pop gun shops being closed because of gun laws, and that's probably mainly why they passed the gun laws, not for safety. It's to make life difficult for everybody. All right, good afternoon.
That it is.
Well, we got somebody else, second person I see, older person walking with a walking stick. That means we're close to the trail. I guess I'm an older person too at 55. I'm not old yet, but I can still walk. I can still do a lot of things like I used to. I won't do any commentary on that. But I see some woods. I'm sniffing out the woods. We must be close. And I think I see a sign on a fence. So this is something for the Woods Walk Gun Talk I wanted to do for subject matter before we get into the whole Illinois assault rifle ban, what's going on with that, if you're not up to speed on it, is we're coming up on a school. And as you know, nationwide, you cannot carry a firearm on school property. And as you also know, true patriots and conservatives obey the law. So, today I don't have my firearm with me. And I feel very naked about it. I have to be honest. But at the same time, pretty sure I can take care of myself, but I don't know if I'm going to run into anybody on one of these trails that has a firearm and wants to do bad things to me. Hopefully I won't get raped or anything. You never know these days. See, there is McMahon School. This is on their property. It's a trail, so I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what to expect. And I do know it's 1.7 miles. And we're going to come in right here. That's where we are now. That P is. Parking. Trail comes in here. Comes up this way. Forks over here. I don't know which way we'll go yet. It goes up this way. Now that red trail, don't know what that is, and it looks like they have a sledding logo here, so you can go sledding if there's snow on the ground, which there isn't right now. And then we have a yellow trail. So we're gonna walk through this whole thing, follow these different trails. Supposedly if you walk everything here, it's about 1.7 miles. We got 1/4 mile on the red trail, 1.2 miles on the green trail, 1/2 mile on the yellow, 0.4 on the snowmobile trail, which is a snowmobile trail here. We won't be going on that because it's pretty much the same thing as the walking trail. And public property boundary. So this is public property. The school is on it, and they get the property boundary here, so I'm glad they do that. So when you see something like this, you can find this online and look at a map, any map really. Usually they will have the property boundaries. If you look up the specific property, like I looked up McMahon School, and they had this map on their website, and I researched this before coming here, because what I don't want to do is, you know, like I'm wearing my army fatigues, I'm wearing gloves, I'm wearing a hat, and then this thing around my neck to keep my neck warm because I'm outdoors walking, and it kind of looks thuggish, you know what I mean? So somebody could see somebody like me walking around, and they come to a school and they say, hey, there's this big weird looking dude walking around the school for no reason. Probably nothing, you know, but they tell the police maybe somebody should check it out, giving out what's going on. He looks like somebody that might do a mass shooting or something. He fits the type I saw on MSNBC or CNN wearing the military fatigues. He looks like one of those people. One of those people that would vote for Trump. So, all right, we'll check it out. Better safe than sorry, given the things that have happened. Plus, we had a mass shooting here in Lewiston, yada, yada. So common sense would tell you that when you see all this and you have all the information and you process the current status of everything, and even this white ribbon right here, this white ribbon is here for the mass shooting that happened not far from here. 18 people were killed, many wounded, and Robert Card killed himself like a coward, and because probably voices in his head told him to. But anyway, the point is, that's what this is here for. That's white ribbons tied around everything to commemorate the mass shooting. So all of that being said, you would have to be absolutely stupid to go on these trails and bring your firearm with you. Plus, we are always lawful, and now if something like that should happen, the police show up, say, yeah, okay, well, I'm just, you know, I live not far from here and I'm just going for a walk. Thank you guys, have a nice day. And everything would be fine. So in Maine, you don't have to give them your ID and information unless you were being detained. I don't think I would give them that much of a hassle over it, because that just kind of antagonize them. It'd probably depend on who I was talking to. But you're fully within your right in Maine not to give your ID to an officer if he asks for it, unless you're being detained. So the other law I wanted to talk about while I'm here is the Maine law. I'll talk about it when I'm walking, but this graphic right here says 500 feet. Okay. Now, the law says for Maine, and they're very clear, you cannot have a firearm on school property or property that's owned by the school. Within 500 feet, you cannot discharge a firearm. It does not say that you cannot have a firearm within 500 feet of a school, and that is a common misconception that people say online, and it's not true. Go read up the Maine statute at the maine.gov website. It clearly states to not have a firearm on school property. School property, okay? And that also includes property that belongs to the school, which might not be on this premises. It might be somewhere else. And in this case, it's trails. So the law also states separately that you may not discharge a firearm within 500 feet of a school. So you can't discharge your firearm within 500 feet of a school. It doesn't say that you can't be within 500 feet with a firearm. So I hope that's clear. So right now I am on school property, and we're going to walk on this trail. They have it marked with these sticks, probably so kids don't get lost. Oh, there's a bunch of kids out there playing ball. They're at recess. It's elementary school. It's the young kids. So there's some tree damage from that big windstorm we just had. This tree right here fell over. So we're going to see if they did any maintenance here. I can see some tracks here, so somebody came through here with a ATV or something. Now I see a street over here. So it looks like the trail ends here, but it doesn't. So where's my turn? There has to be a turn here. Where's the turn? I don't even know if the trail is marked here. Oh, there's a sign right there, trail. They painted it brown so you can't see anything. All right, so that's a way to leave if you want to leave. And as you can see, it's nice here. It's certainly not going to be deep woods, okay? But, and it's not really a beaten path. This doesn't look like it's walked on very much, except by those old people with wooden canes. So we'll go down this way. We'll see what's happening down here. And it's not exactly warm enough for my criteria to go for a walk, but we're gonna do that anyway. As you can see, there's plenty of ice, things frozen. But I got so used to walking, I wanted to get out and walk. And we have some cold weather coming up, but we also have some warmer weather. like a couple days this week, it's going to be almost 40 degrees. I'm going to walk on at least one of those. And we'll get some ice and some water here. So that was the first part of the gun talk, which was the oh, we got a trail, which was the, oh, this is cool, we got a little bridge, was the Illinois assault rifle ban. And what is happening with that? As we get this mighty brook going through here. Ooh, this trail is pretty rough. That's okay. I got my hiking boots, waterproof. So anyway, the Illinois state assault rifle ban, the law passed. And, well, I think there's a green mark on the tree. I know where we're going, I hope. There's another bridge. So, midnight, December 31st, that was the deadline. I don't want any dogs to attack me. Hear the dogs barking. They're mad at me. I don't have my pistola. And that's why I don't like these gun laws like that. I should be allowed to carry a firearm here. But anyway, oh, look at that. We walk underneath a fallen tree. So with that, before I get mauled by dogs, defenseless, with nothing but a rotten tree branch, where am I? Oh, that looks like it right here. Now look at this tree. That's going to be tough to see because of the sun, but this tree, right here snapped right off right there. Fell across. Pretty nasty. We had some really strong winds. So obviously we got a trail here. I can see a marking. So we'll continue on up here. There's another fallen pine tree right here that snapped off. Right there. Now I'm blind from the sun. And I'm gonna get attacked by a pack of dogs. There's like 6 of them in that yard. If they got out, I'd be dead. I ain't fighting off 6 dogs without a pistola. Alright, so Illinois, back to Illinois. Illinosis, as I like to call it, because you enter another dimensional universe there. Oh, there's another trail here. So I don't know. That's marked green. I think all I see is a big green dot. That's pretty funny. I just looking at the sun, all I'm seeing is a big green dot. And I'm going to see green dots on all the trees and I'll get myself lost because I thought they were trail markers. Snowmobile trail right here. And you can tell because there's actually snowmobile tracks on it. Somebody's was trying to use it anyway when we had what little snow we got. And it looks like they've been grooming it. So we're gonna walk up this way. Oh, this isn't bad, I have to tell you. The air is fresh, sunshine's good. But people missed the deadline. December 31st at midnight, the deadline expired. If you're a FOID card holder, which is a firearm identification card. You need a FOID card in Illinois to buy a firearm and ammo and things like that. And Pritzker, the Nazi governor of Illinois, decided to get the legislature, which is primarily Democrat, to pass the most comprehensive gun banning legislation passed in the country. So this wasn't the governor's executive order, it was passed by the legislature, and the Senate. And you have to register your magazines, all the firearms you own, assault rifles. They want to know what you have. And the only reason why somebody makes a registry is because they're going to take your gun someday. That's the only reason why they would do that. It solves no other issue. So the main part of it, though, was the banning. Ooh, that's real soupy. That's mud. Mud and water. So I got waterproof boots, I'm good. But the main purpose of that is to confiscate firearms. Any sane person knows that. They want to know what people have, because why would they want to know? With the Second Amendment as a right, there's really no reason for them to know governmentally. So it's the only conclusion you can come up with. And they're going to do that. So anyway, this forces the businesses to not be able to sell magazines, assault rifles mainly. And I'm not familiar with Illinois law, but I would assume, we got an uprooted tree here, fell across the trail. They haven't fixed this yet. So I'll have to scoot underneath this carefully. Oh, without hitting the camera and all that stuff. I think I made it. 10 years from now, I probably won't be able to do that. At least not crawling on my belly. So anyway, whew, muddy. They're banning the assault rifles, so stores can't sell them. And I'm not even sure what the stores can sell, because there's only so many hunting rifles you're going to sell. That's not the primary market. Everybody owns a hunting style rifle. So technically, you could still go out shooting a rifle. But, I mean, dadgummit, the AR-15 is mainly what they're focused on. And I've said this a million times in my other walks. I'll say a shorter version this time. It's the biggest selling rifle, and it funds the Republican Party through the gun lobby. And that's why Democrats focus on the AR-15. They gave the media their marching orders. Any shooting with an AR-15, any standoff with the police with an AR-15, they will report the hell out of it and ignore everything else. And if they're white, it's a bonus. If they're black, we won't cover that either. So that's where we are. The state-run TV propaganda machine called the corporate media, selling propaganda for the far left. So what does this mean for people that own firearms? Well, I've been watching some videos and interviews with people that own guns in Illinois who haven't complied. And some people were willing to talk and say they haven't complied. Some were willing to. And what they really did in Illinois, and this was really the whole point of why they went to this extreme, because even when they went to do this with the legislation, they were told by their own experts that they might run into problems. So they had to do something that was really over the top and scary. The stuff that would work on Democrat voters. If you don't comply with this, you're going to go to jail. You'll be charged with a felony. Well, there's 2.4 million FOID card holders in Illinois. That's twice the population of the entire state of Maine have FOID cards. They only got about 50,000 people to comply out of 2.4 million. And everybody had almost 3 months to register their firearms and magazines. So pretty much collectively, more than 99% of the population told the government to go fuck itself. Excuse my French. They told them to go pound sand. We're not going to comply because we know our constitutional rights and we know this is wrong and we know you're going to lose on it, so we're just not going to comply. And they didn't. They had less than 1% compliance. All right. Trail end. We can go left. This goes somewhere else on the right. Let's take a peek. I like exploring new things. I did see this on Google Maps. This is the back side of it, so I am here. There's a little swampy area there, which tells me in the summertime this is a mosquito fest here. And now I am off school property. So I got a boundary marker here. I don't know who this belongs to. Maybe they're going to plan future utilities through here. Have no idea. Maybe this is the train tracks they'll install to haul everybody way off to the concentration camps that don't vote Democrat. But anyway, in Illinois, they are going crazy over there because they passed this law and people aren't complying. Now, they thought they were going to do everything that works on Democrats, like booga booga fear-mongering, and people would just comply because these conservatives are law-abiding citizens. They will go like sheep and register their firearms. And that didn't happen. That only works, like I said, on the liberals to wear 3 masks on your face and get vaccinated, get one in each butt cheek, one in your neck. Who knows what they're doing nowadays? And people just did not comply. So now they're faced with a problem. The sheriffs in the state said they are not going to comply because they're duty bound not to, because of the oath they took to the Constitution, which says citizens have a right to bear arms. So many sheriff's departments in Illinois have said we are not going to do that, because most of the people that own the FOID cards live in rural areas in Illinois. They don't live in Chicago where all the crime is. So the Democrats use this as this is going to stop crime, it's going to stop mass shootings, which everybody knows it's not going to. It's a mental illness. So now they're faced with the problem of non-compliance because the conservatives told them to go to hell. The sheriff's department told them to go to hell. We're not going to go to people's homes where a huge percentage of the population in Illinois is either governed by the state police or sheriff's departments. And they're not going to comply with it. So now the legislators are already floating around ideas. They're experts talking about how they're going to start punishing sheriffs for not complying instead. Since the people won't comply, they're going to go after the sheriffs. And you know damn well they're not going to be able to do that. That is not going to go over well. It's going to create such a big backlash with voters that they really stepped in it. They took a gamble. They figured people would just comply, and they didn't. So we'll see what happens in Illinois if they actually have the cojones to start confiscating firearms. They'll probably, knowing how they do things, they will probably handpick a few people to raid their homes using the FBI, probably ATF, or state police, and make a big news story out of it to scare everybody else and see if that works. That's probably what they're going to do. I hate to say it. So that's what's going on in Illinois. Communism. Gun confiscation, gun registry, government threatening people. Welcome to the new America, the new world order. Build back better. And they should call it build back butter, because they're going to bend you right over with a stick of butter I don't have to go into graphic detail. That's what they're doing. So we have a tree that fell here. Used to be rooted on this rock. You see a lot of that. Tree is growing right on top of rocks wherever there was a little bit of dirt. And it's amazing that that stood as tall as it was for all this time until we had 70-mile-an-hour winds to knock it over. And what's funny is we've had hurricanes here, 3 or 4 of them in my lifetime. 2 of them were pretty nasty. In my opinion, worse than what we got from the storm, or equal to it. This storm really was something to see. And you didn't really get to see it. The power was out, so sorry about that. I was running a generator for a few days. But this tree was here when those happened, and this freak storm blew the tree over. And the problem is what the power company was afraid of, is that usually north is that way, and that way. And we got the sun right there. It's going to go down right about there in the west, so north's probably this way. And so what happened is the winds usually come from the northeast, that way. And the trees all grow to be able to withstand that wind. And we got another big tree right here. Look at that one with that red mark. That big giant pine is sitting on top of rocks. So that's another tree that's growing right on top like that. So anyway, we're gonna go up on top of this rock outcropping. So anyway, we've had those storms here, and didn't cause all the damage that this storm caused, which is absolutely crazy. So anyway, we have this nice rock outcropping here. This is actually kind of nice. Look how nice this looks. So there, we paused and looked at nature. That's called stopping and smelling the roses. So anyways, I hope you're enjoying this walk. And gun talk number 8. Woods walk, gun talk number 8. We'll go down here and take a view of the vista. We'll look at the vista. Ooh, big rock cropping here. Well, this is a small place, but it's pretty damn interesting, I gotta tell you. And we got some water seeping out on the rocks here from underground water. That is something you'd fall and kill yourself on if it freezes over, which it will tonight. There's a little bit of ice right there. So I'm not going to go down that way. I'm not going to go down this way either. And I see something down there. I don't know if somebody threw something down there. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to go snoop. But anyway, it's beautiful out here. It's Maine. Pretty much find places like this everywhere you go. And most people don't even know they're there. So, oh, what's this? I got a hole right here in the tree. That's cool. Alright, let's continue on. So Illinois is a mess. They're going to have their hands full enforcing this, because what are you going to do for, arrest everybody? No, they're not going to do that. So they're going to do the next best thing. Like I said, they're going to scare the public by arresting good people. They're going to pick good people to arrest for that. And all they're going to do is they're going to enrage the people that didn't comply even more. And they don't think like that, so they don't understand. They just think everybody will fall in line. Well, geez, they're arresting people. No, they're going to cause a civil war is what they're going to cause. You think people are just going to give up their firearms? There's going to be problems. They try to confiscate those. You're going to see probably 1,000 Ruby Ridges in Illinois. And the government will be wrong. So, we'll see what happens. I hope the people of Illinois don't comply, and I hope they don't give up. And we got an uprooted tree here. See, I gotta hold on to this tree so I don't fall down the hill. We got a whole root system right here that used to be on these rocks that fell over. We got this other root system here that was attached to these rocks. And it's just amazing how it just amazes me how a tree will just grow in dirt that's on rocks. There's really not much dirt there. It's like, how the hell did that tree stand there all this time just growing on a rock? Crazy. It's crazy. So, I guess if we get invaded by the Chinese or something like that, I'll find one of these little nooks and crannies and go full Red Dawn, I guess. Further up north, probably. In the winter time, that would be terrible. I'm not a spring chicken. My bones hurt, damn it. So we got a red trail marking here. It looks like there's some kind of trail there, but it's off the official trail, so that might go to somebody's house or something. They might come through this way sometimes. Alright, we'll walk down here. I see a red mark on a tree. We're not getting lost. Never been here before. You're here for the first time with me. And wow, look at this big tree. Look at this big old tree. This one made the storm. He's like, I've been here for a long time. I ain't going anywhere. And that's leaning right towards me. Makes me nervous. So we'll go down here. There's a trail placard there. And there's a trail placard there with information on the trail. So which way do we go? That's the red trail. We already saw that on the map. This is a yellow trail. The yellow trail is a long trail. So we're going to get on the yellow trail. We'll probably come back this way because I want to walk through the whole trail system because I got to get 5 miles in today. And I realize I'm going to run out of recording before then, which is fine. I just want to get my woods walk, gun talk in. Let's see what we got here on the sign. What do we got? If you are grateful for being alive, quietly say something to the stars, to the universe. How about saying something to God? Does that work? Works for me. Separation of church and state with schools, I guess. I'm surprised they didn't have a rainbow flag on it, though. Whew. All kinds of acorns here. We got free acorn whistles. I don't know if you've seen that in the previous video on my woods walk. You can make a whistle out of an acorn top. I learned that when I was a kid. For like 2 weeks, that's all I was doing, annoying all the adults with acorn whistles. Because that's what kids do. And here, keep saying it, and you may be surprised to find the whole world listened. Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have the Marxist fist pump in the air. Go out and protest. I'm a cynical bastard these days, I really am, because I saw what they're doing, and we know what they're doing. Oh, we got an arrow here. It blew here. Just happened to land in a place that tells us we're going the right way. We've got some frozen water here. Last night was about 15 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. Today it's about 35. Sun's out. Figured, well, I'll go for a walk. It's actually not too bad because I remembered when I was walking when it was 40, I was sweating my can off. Now I'm not too bad. I'm all dressed in layers. Sometimes you'll say something and no one will be listening. Keep saying it, what is in your heart. And you will find someone who listens. Okay. Walk on the trail. We'll see what the next piece of propaganda sign says for the kids that walk on the trail. Surprised they don't have booths here handing out propaganda for the cult. You got ice on top of this big puddle. I'm going to walk around it. If you see an injustice, see this? If you see an injustice, say something peacefully. No more hurting people. Inspire others to do the same. So if you see an injustice, say something peacefully. So if somebody in school is bullying somebody, say something about it. But that there is code word for, well, you know how they work the propaganda. There's different ways to take that, but they know young people use these trails, and we know what that's for. So, call me a cynic. Go ahead. It's okay. So we walked around this puddle here. All this rain that we've had lately. We had a lot of flooding. We've probably had 4.5 to 5 inches of rain in the past 2.5 to 3 weeks. Crazy. Like we didn't have enough rain all year. Records amount of rain. Something to help, say something to help people understand. If you are angry, say something to help people understand. You made me feel invisible. Invisible, that really hurt. The other kid says, I'm really sorry. So they got white kids with kids of color. And can you see the propaganda in this? I can, okay? That is a person of color. No problem with that. But he's the one that's being oppressed by a white kid. And the white kid is apologizing to him. You see that? The white people are bad. This is what they're doing now. And that's propaganda. This is a concerted effort in our school systems. And it's a travesty. I don't care if YouTube yanks my video for it. I'm going to say what the hell's on my mind. If they don't like it, they can pound sand. We got a yellow tree here. I'm on the yellow trail. So anyway, we're cruising along. I'm not going to be able to check my GoPro battery. People wonder why I don't check my battery when I'm walking. It's because I'm using my Google Fit app and I need my internet connection for GPS. And you have to connect to the Wi-Fi of the phone. So by default, what that does is it breaks your internet connection and my GPS gets screwed up, and then my Google Fit app won't work properly for me to track my walk, which I keep a record of. And we got these birch trees here. And yes, I talk a lot. Hope you don't mind. It's just gorgeous out here today. It really is. Maine is a beautiful state. It really is. I mean, I really don't visit many other states very often. And I've seen some beautiful pictures like Utah, places like that, Montana, Wyoming. I get it. You know, my younger brother works all over in several different states. And he says they all look like crap holes. Most of them. And he's been to Los Angeles. He's been to Utah, Idaho, Colorado, whatever. Somewhere out there. I don't remember exactly. He's been down in down south. He worked in Virginia all last summer. This past summer. And what do we got here? What do we have here? An arrow? It's a frozen arrow. I got water in it and the arrow's frozen. There, I did my good deed. So we got picnic tables out here. I have no idea why. It's a hell of a long distance to go to have lunch. That's kind of cool. We saw that other part we walked by earlier that had those benches people can sit on, and they had several benches, like you could bring a class out there and sit them all on there and indoctrinate them on Marxism out in the woods. And we got a picnic tables here, and Could come out here and have a picnic with some kids, maybe. I guess that's what they do, which is good. Get people outside. There's a green marking on that tree. And we got a sign here that says green is that way, yellow is that way. So we're gonna go that way. Actually, I gotta check my map. I got my map on my phone. Let's see what the map says. So it got quiet all of a sudden. Something was working over there, a wood chipper thing or something. So we'll see. I'm checking the map. All right. My map is all red, so I downloaded a map where every trail is red. So this outside one here basically goes around the whole perimeter anyway, and goes on the red and the yellow. So we'll go on the yellow and we'll end up back on the green, so it's all good. So anyway, you know, seems like a good place to have kids out here and have a good time. And this is school property. We've gone 1.5 miles. And I'm going to look at the time on here so I can gauge how much time I got left. I turned the camera on about 40 minutes ago. So we have about an hour and a half of camera time. So I got a little bit less than an hour left, I'm assuming. Got some tough sun here. They did cut up a tree here that fell. And we got another. If you see someone being hurt, say something, being brave. All right. Back in the old days in school, you just got bullied and dealt with it. So I can actually agree with that sign. Walking along. So other than explaining the gun law in Maine about school property, since we're on school property, and I did leave my firearm at home to comply with the law, if you see an empty lot, say something by planting a seed and watching it bloom. That's a good message. So, let it snow, that said. Somebody stuck up a home decoration for Christmas. Isn't that nice? Lovely, lovely. So anyways, let's just walk on here. I think after I leave this preserve, after we've walked everything, I'm going to head up a road that I've not walked on yet. It's kind of remote. I'll make sure I'm looking at traffic coming towards me. I don't like walking with traffic coming up behind me. As I've explained in past walks, I don't want to get Stephen King'd. So this goes, that goes on the green trail. So that green trail up there comes out here. So we're going to keep going on the yellow. And I might do something like turn around and walk back this way and take the part I didn't go on, which was my plan of thinking, because all of these trails all stitched together comes out to less than 2 miles. And I want to do more walking than that. So we're done reading signs, so we'll just walk. I'm sure that'll make you happy. Don't have too much else to talk about. We had a great time this weekend shooting. That was a lot of fun. We had that power outage. I had a bunch of propane canisters, the 1-pound bottles, for propane, for heating. And I didn't know how many still had some stuff in it, how much didn't. The very first one that I shot with a 30-30 out of my Marlin kind of exploded a little bit, went up in the air, and actually went up in the air towards us and landed about 15 yards in front of us. Thought it was funny. and the rest of them did absolutely nothing. So, and don't ever shoot one that's full. It's very dangerous. All right, this looks like it's going to come out behind the school, so I'm probably going to turn around and walk back. Oh, there's an arrow. We have an arrow. So we are behind the school. That is the school there. So that comes out here. The arrow's pointing this way. So I guess this is the trail. Yep, right here. I took the odd way to it. Now there's a trail that goes up this way. It's marked red. All right, and that must be the green. Can't see a yellow mark on the tree. Okay, so we're gonna get back on the yellow trail, but I want to go up this way on the way back. See, this is fun. You can come here and explore all these different ways. We'll go up this way. Welcome to the McMahon Story Walk. Lewiston Public Schools, Lewiston Public Library logo. This story walk was created with a partnership between the Lewiston Public Library, Lewiston Public Schools, with a grant provided by the National Endowment for the Humanities. We hope you enjoy your time on the nature trail with the story. Thank you for visiting. What does that mean? Well, they don't really spend too much money grooming the trail. So they put up these posts with these signs and that little entryway thing with a roof on it. And they took a grant, an endowment, and who knows what they did with the money, because that doesn't look like they spent it here. Call me a cynic if you want to. But that's how the government uses tax dollars. They went and used it for other pet projects that have to do with the cult, probably. And yes, I got this thing about the cult. I'm sorry. That's what it is. When you mindlessly just follow something without thinking and whatever people tell you, it means you're in a cult. So, what's wrong is right. Whatever the cult tells you. Oh, I just saw a little chipmunk. Oh, a bird. That was a bird. Two birds went by. Alright, let's walk up this way. Not a bad walk. It's nice here. So we shot a whole bunch of water jugs. I found some 2.5 gallon stuff that they mix for diesel exhaust. And had 4 of those. I shot one really good with a 30-30. I shot another one. They put on an okay show. Not really, sort of. Okay, they were all right as far as exploding, filled with water. But it's one of those things where 44 Magnum from a carbine would have been better, as would have 45-70. Government 45-70 would have been probably a better choice. The 308 did a better job. 30-06 would have really done a good job on that. So this is going to go, I believe, to that red trail, even though I don't see it marked. Oh, there's a red on the tree. So this was the trail I wanted to come back on. So we'll go down this way. We're walking, big rock. So anyways, thank you for coming here with me. And I gotta find a way through here without getting wet. Let's go down this way. Go up on here. It's still kind of frozen here. So there isn't much sunlight hitting this part. I'll get wet if I step on that. So I'm gonna be Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. come up this way. Well, this is all right. And we're gonna start seeing places I've been already. We went down this way earlier. Came from that way. So, whew. I'm gonna go back down this way. Go down that red trail I didn't go down, and cut over to that green trail part I didn't go down. And we're just having fun. Talking about whatever. So, personal achievements for me, shooting. Very happy with my shooting lately. It's like you practice and it pays off. Crazy, huh? I got older eyeballs. I don't see as good as I used to. But I use these magnifiers when I shoot, and I believe they are 1x, just 1.00 for the power to shoot, or 1.25, something like that. And they are protective goggles that are magnifiers. I tried a pair that had a reading lens in the middle and the rest didn't care for those. Kind of like a bifocal, but didn't like that. I need to see my front sight. So in the sunlight like this, it's really crazy because at night, anything within 4 feet of me is blurry. I can see past it just fine. I don't need glasses to see in the distance. Everything's great. So 4 feet in front of me, can't really see very much. It's blurry. I can't read without readers. But when the sun is out and the sun's up high, nice and bright, I don't need reading glasses. I can read everything perfectly right in front of me like this when the sun is out. So when we're shooting, that extra distance where you're holding your firearm, that extra distance, your front sight is right about here. So I got some magnifying glasses that let me see my front sight right here. And when you're shooting, what you're looking at to shoot at should be blurry. You should be focusing on your front sight. All the world's best shooters will tell you that. And all of the people that invented modern shooting tell you that. All the best shooters tell you that. And then you have a lot of people that go to the range that focus on what they're shooting at so they can see where the bullets hit. And they're spraying a pattern instead of hitting consistently. Keep your eye on your front sight. That is the key benefacto to being a good shooter. Because you can see in the distance, it's a compromise. You keep focused on your front sight, like the tip of my finger, and you don't really look at what you're shooting at in the distance. It's a happy medium, and I also shoot with both eyes open. That took some practice to get used to when you first start shooting. But once you learn how to do that, you see two firearms in front of your face because they separate apart. You'll see two of them, and they will look just like this. One will be here, one will be here. Or one will be up here and one down here, depending how your ocular position is that you choose. One will be blurry, and one you'll be able to see. So you can actually find your dominant eye, because once you learn how to do this, whichever one is the one you see the best, that's your dominant. And for me, it's kind of odd because my left eye, I will actually see things better. But I'm right-handed, so I focus on my right one anyway, which is why I need readers, because I got two eyes that are different. So technically, I could learn how to shoot with my left eye, because I see with that one a lot better and don't need reading glasses. Well, I do need reading glasses on that eye, but I see better with regard to shooting, seeing my front sight. So, find out what works for you, and you know, when you're out in public, you're not going to have reading glasses to shoot with, so, or protective goggles. You're going to have your natural eyesight. So you need to find something that's going to work when you're not using magnifiers, and that's why I choose that. I know that probably doesn't make sense. That's what we got. Wow, look at this. Look at this little ice formation. You see how that froze right out? As it froze, it pushed itself out like that. Isn't that cool? I gotta get a picture of that with my macro lens. All right. Camera. Lights. Camera. Action. Okay, let's get this on the... And we'll get the like that. All right. Well, it's another one here. I'm sorry, but I find that stuff fascinating. That probably bores other people, but I get a picture of it anyways. All right, let's walk this way. I've walked 2 miles, and I've been walking for an hour and 6 minutes, and we had about 20 minutes before I started recording. I think it's turned off, and then it turns back on. It turns off when there's about 20% of the battery left. I haven't gone in to change the settings to tell it to stop doing that. It's a GoPro number 9 black 9. So I'll just record this until it stops recording. Thank you for watching, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.